We can clip this and put it on our Baylor channel. What's your take on Baylor this year?
Up here. I'm buying the dip. So last year I was a little bit kind of tepid on Baylor. And the reason why is Blake Shapen. I hadn't seen enough to be like, all right, this can be great. I mean, the first half was awesome against Oklahoma State, but let's be honest, the injury went down in the second half and he hadn't played that much. And so I think he's coming into this skill group they have now has to develop together. And I said this a bunch, like I would not be shocked if he's very good this year because he had a full year as a starter, had a lot of trials and tribulations, injuries and whatnot. I think the one reason I'm concerned though is that they were at their best last year when they minimized how important the quarterback position was, right? That little stretch they had, I forgot who else they played in that middle stretch, but it was kind of in that little moment where they beat Oklahoma. It felt like their best ball was running it. They still have that wide zone. It still kind of terrifies a lot of schools because they're so efficient with it. They have arguably the best running back in the league. I'm going to buy the dip on Baylor this year. I'm not, I trust Dave Aranda to have the defense in some relatively decent form as well. And I think it's also a tough team to beat most of the time when they're at home. I think when the fans, when they're engaged and the team is playing well, that is a difficult place to go in. So I would not be shocked if I saw Baylor in the Big 12 championship game this year. That is not one of the teams I'd be shocked to see in the Big 12 championship game, just because they've got a coach who I think is just as good as anybody at evaluating what happened before and is very honest about it with himself and everybody else, and then making those adjustments.
All right, right